Let's go ahead and prove the triangle exterior angle theorem together. Now, if we're going to understand how the exterior angle theorem is going to work, we have to understand how the interior angles work as well. So let's basically say that we have this triangle here and say this is going to be angle 2 and this is going to be angle 3 and we have angle 4 over here. I'll talk about angle 1 in just a moment. We got to remember that the sum of the interior angles, or angle 2 plus angle 3 plus angle 4, is equal to 180 degrees. This right here is called the triangle angle sum theorem, but I'll get into more of that in a little bit when we write the proof together. So while this is how the three interior angles of the triangle are related, let's take a look and see what happens if we extend this horizontal line over here and we create an exterior angle. So we extend this horizontal line over to the left and we create this exterior angle, and let's call that angle 1. When we extended that horizontal line, notice that we created a linear pair here, so angle 1 plus angle 4 is going to add up to 180 degrees on that straight line. That being said, we can go ahead and write another equation and say angle 1 plus angle 4 equals 180 degrees because they're a linear pair, or they are supplementary. So these are two important equations that we want to make sure we understand first before we get into this proof. As we go forward, it's going to be important to know that both these equations have this measure of angle 4 in them, as well as the fact that both equations have 180 degrees in them as well. Now, to prove the triangle exterior angle theorem, we're going to have to prove that the measure of angle 2 plus the measure of angle 3 is equal to the measure of angle 1. Let's go ahead and write the two-column proof together. First, we're going to go ahead and say that measure of angle 2 plus measure of angle 3 plus measure of angle 4 is equal to 180 degrees. And this is due to the triangle angle sum theorem. And then for a second statement, we can go ahead and say that measure of angle 1 plus measure of angle 4 is equal to 180 degrees as well. And the reason we can say this is because of the linear pairs theorem. Then, since we know the sum of these three angles is equal to 180 and the sum of these two angles is equal to 180, we can go ahead and say that these three angles added together is equal to these two angles added together. We can go ahead and say this by the transitive property of equality. Writing it a little bit more clearly from left to right, it's going to look something like this. And what we can do to both sides here is we can go ahead and subtract the measure of angle 4 from both sides of this equation. So from that, we can write the statement or equation that the measure of angle 2 plus the measure of angle 3 is equal to the measure of angle 1. Since we had subtracted the measure of angle 4 from both sides, we went ahead and used the subtraction property of equality to justify this statement. And so, hopefully you feel a little bit more comfortable that the triangle exterior angle theorem does work, and that measure of angle 2 plus measure of angle 3 does indeed add up to the measure of angle 1, or that exterior angle. If you found the video helpful, please consider giving it a thumbs up and sharing with a classmate or friend who might also find it helpful. And as always, keep up the great work that you're already doing, and I'll see you in the next one.